Hello and welcome to the Gavel, and it's the second edition in the year 2024, and I am Benny Ark. Lawmakers are still enjoying their holiday, and so this week we will be going back to past committee sittings. One of them is the House Committee on Youth Development, which met with the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yashar Ahmed. They spoke extensively on the issue of the kidnapped corps members and security. Here's the report.
Federal Constituency.
The House of Representatives Committee on Youth Development and the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps met on Thursday over the abduction of 8 corps members in Zamfara State. The incident happened on their way to Sokoto State for their call-up on the 19th of August this year. On the 20th of September, the NYSC DG announced that one of the corps members had been released, with the other 7 still in captivity.
Apart from what the brigade commander is doing, which is not going to be too wise to disclose here, they have gone far. The DSS equally. This morning, it is on daily basis that I receive briefing from them. Or let me say, they told me they always tell me what they're doing. This morning, I have spoken with the Director of DSS on what effort they are made of and where we are. We spoke last with the brigade commander the night yesterday. The emir, we spoke with him day before yesterday. Even the senator representing Safe local government, I spoke with him yesterday night. Some of the religious group, the leader, I spoke with him. I was in a meeting yesterday. He called almost 10 times. To sum it all, we are on it. And I want to assure the House members, God's willing, we will get these prospective corps members out.
Think about a rehabilitation program for these corps members when they come back, because trauma is real. By the time they come back now, to mix up becomes a problem. Some of them may not even be able to travel.
It's over a month now since the incident, and there are concerns among Nigerians regarding the safety of corps members owing to insecurity in some parts of the country, with some calling for the cancellation of the scheme and others believing that an amendment to the NYSC Act will make the National Youth Service Scheme more impactful. The lawmakers seized the opportunity to raise questions around the safety and welfare of corps members.
Sometimes ago, because of insecurity nationwide, there are some states that NYSC are not longer posting corps members. But recently, we understood that the NYSC are posting all over the state. So I don't know what measures have you put in place that, gave you that confidence to post people back to that areas. And as my honorable chairman rightly pointed out, we are aware that there are some states, especially in the north.
I also want to know if there is any effort to increase allowance of corps members. Because you go to some communities, most schools in those communities rely solely on corpus.
The NYSC DG, in its response to the lawmakers, gave us assurances as the committee reached a resolution.
We don't post corps members to insecure places. Even though we post them to Zamfara State, there are areas that are safe. There are areas that are adjudged to be troublesome areas. We always give warning to our state coordinators. Any area that is adjudged to be security threat, there, we don't send our corps members there. Even the Maiduguri that we don't close our camp for the past 13 years, we send corps members there. But we select places that are safe and free for this corps member to serve. I must tell you, even if you say no corps member to go to state A, you will see requests from the youth that I want to go to that state A to serve. So we will not stop them from going. But the only thing, we limit them to areas where we are sure it is safe to a larger extent. Corps members are insured. From the day they pick up their call letter, they report in the camp, till the day they pass out. We have insurance for them. On the plan, if we have any, to increase the allowances of the corps members, yes, sir. With the current development, we are following how situation is unfolding. Definitely, by the time the federal government will announce the increment or the minimum wage for the workers, we believe NYSC will also be catered for.
Is this the wish of the Committee on Youth Development that the NYSC management team visits the families of the abductees, the kidnapped corps members, as a way to empathize with them within 7 days? Those in favor of this resolution say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
On the 21st of November 2023, the House of Representatives received the service chiefs. It will be recalled that the lawmaker fumed at the military heads and the Inspector General of Police, Kaude Betokun, for initially sending representatives to appear before them. Please watch. On Tuesday, the House of Representatives received the service chiefs and Inspector General of Police for the commencement of a sectoral debate.
The report is ready for presentation.
The House had last week rejected the representatives sent by the security heads, insisting that they must appear in person.
Only a few days ago,
the session was kicked off by the Speaker of the House.
This session with the heads of security agencies is an important opportunity to brief the House on the progress made so far and other lingering challenges. Members will be able to ask questions on context-specific issues. I will be given ample time to respond to these issues raised.
A motion for a closed-door session was temporarily turned down by the Speaker.
In the interest of the honorable members as well as their constituents, and the interest of the gallant military and other agents of coercion in the field, I suggest that this kind of critical security issues to be discussed in an in-depth analysis on the floor of this House should be had in an executive session.
We will have engagement that will do openly, and then we'll have an engagement that will be done in executive session. Questions that cannot be answered in public, we will do it in executive session. We are not saying that we will allow them to go scot-free without answering, but those that are too sensitive to be released here, and the executive session will be conveyed where so those questions will be asked and we expect them to answer.
The service chiefs gave their opening remarks on their challenges and efforts in their various formations to address security challenges across the country.
The use of improvised explosive devices confer advantage on an inferior force. And the classical example I used to use is when you have a force that use crude incendiary made with about 20,000 naira, destroying a tank purchased for about 1 million naira. Some of these encounters come at great cost, not only in equipment, but also in terms of personnel loss.
I want to just suggest a few ways forward for us to be able to do more. We are requesting the House to intervene in ensuring that we are able to enhance our surveillance capability to cover the backwaters. If we do this, we should be able to adequately say that those other activities of oil theft, pipeline vandalization, illegal refineries, and so on, we'll be able to see them 24 hours irrespective of the weather.
The consistent delay in budget funding is a significant challenge, bearing in mind that about 85% of Nigerian Air Force budget has to do with procurements and foreign exchange based. What the citizens want is performance. They want us to serve them. We are willing to serve them, but we need your cooperation. We need funding. We need more manpower. We need logistics. We need to train our men adequately.
The Chief of Defense Staff shared the concerns of the security personnel, which he fears is affecting their morale.
There are a lot of Boko Haram elements that have been captured and have been kept. We have kept them for over 5-6 years. We, the armed forces, cannot prosecute. We can only provide protection for them. Some of them have been found to be wanting, but no prosecution. So we are keeping them for this lengthy period. Everybody accusing the armed forces of keeping them against their human rights, but we cannot prosecute. You do all your efforts. You make an arrest. You hand over. Before you enter your vehicle, the man is released on bail. The other ship that was arrested 10 years ago. It was arrested, it was handed over. The ship went and changed its name, changed its color, and came back again. 10 years later, we arrested the same ship. The only option we have now is we arrest, we hold on, and then we hold on quickly. Because the longer we keep it, it becomes a problem. We come under pressure to release it, or when it is released, it is taken back. So please, it's one area that I think the legislature need to look at into. The issue of correctional facilities. In the Northeast, when we got when we were debriefing some of the arrested Boko Haram elements, so they were telling us how from the prisons they could plan operations out in the field. From the prisons, they plan operations. They pass funds across, and we said how. They use some of the warders from there. We don't say all of them are bad, but they use some of them. They use their accounts to transfer money. And the deal is anybody's account who money is transferred to, they share 50-50.
He also drew attention to the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
Samuel Ekpa has become a menace to this country. So the country must act on it diplomatically. Finland is having a free way, encouraging him to do what he's doing. By his utterances and his actions, is affecting what is happening in Nigeria. We should never allow that, sir. So I think our foreign service need to step in to address such issues. It's either we invite the ambassador or somebody, they must explain why they are protecting him. And he's doing us more harm because by his utterances, a lot of people have been killed.
Lawmakers then raised questions and made contributions before resolving into an executive session for answers to their questions behind closed doors. The National Assembly in 2023 witnessed the emergence of the 10th Assembly, with Senator Gavel Akpabio as the President of the Senate and Honorable Abbas Tajuddin as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We'll look at their hopes to strengthen good governance, improve national security, carry out law reforms, social sector reforms, open parliament, among other issues. Take a look.
2023 was an election year, and federal lawmakers resumed plenary with an eye on the politics of returning to the National Assembly. Already, February 25, 2023 was slated for the election into the Senate and House of Representatives. Members of the 9th Assembly became fully submerged in politicking, apparently to regain their seats as the Assembly wound down. By the time the results of elections trickled in, the age-long high turnover rate of lawmakers became a subject of concern. Out of the 109 senators, only 36, that is 33%, were re-elected, while 67% were elected for the first time. The Senate recorded a turnover rate of 67%. The situation is worse in the House of Representatives, where out of 360 members, 260 were elected for the first time, while only 100 were re-elected.
I, Senator Gavel Akpabio.
After a keenly contested exercise, Senator Gavel Akpabio emerged as President of the Senate, while Senator Barau Jibrin emerged as Deputy Senate President.
I, Abbas Tajuddin.
Honorable Tajuddin Abbas emerged as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, while Honorable Benjamin Kalu was returned unopposed as Deputy Speaker.
Rules of the chambers.
After resolving the leadership issue, the next is the jostle for principal offices, as well as the chairmanship of various standing committees in both chambers. The House of Representatives indicated the issues that would shape the 10th Assembly as they unveiled their 8-point legislative agenda. The lawmakers also considered several bills, including the Electricity Act Amendment Bill 2023, the Federal Audit Service Act Amendment Bill 2023, the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act Amendment Bill, the 2023 and the Oath Act Repeal and Enactment Bill 2023. The bills are still undergoing legislative process.
100%.
The lawmakers also considered several motions on national security, the economy, as well as public hearings on job racketeering in the federal civil service. The first appropriation bill in the life of the 10th National Assembly was presented on November 29, and ministries, departments and agencies attended the budget defense sessions. The lawmakers eventually passed the budget 31 days after its presentation.
And those again say, nay, the eyes have it, they are not here.
The budget have to be reviewed depending on what the executive wants. That the National Assembly will monitor the budget performance and from time to time and review the budget. I believe we are learning. It's a learning process. Everybody's on it. But we are doing well for now.
The first seating of lawmakers in 2024 is scheduled for January 23, and many believe there's a lot of room for improvement on their legislative duties.
The essence of having a parliament as a whole arm of government is because there will always be the need to make new laws or amend existing laws. Part of our goal is to further look into areas of our law that will enhance national unity. In the 9th Assembly, we did all we could to amend the Electoral Bill of 2020. In fact, we repealed and reenacted and came up with the Electoral Bill of 2022, which was signed to law. It is our desire to further look in that direction and come up with further amendments. Excuse me. And with respect to our Constitution, we also feel there's a need for further devolution of powers. You know, if you still have a center that is so strong at the expense of the federating units, you know, we believe that our federal system needs to be further streamlined in such a way that our regions, our states would be strengthened.
The 10th Assembly hopes to strengthen good governance, improve national security, carry out law reforms, social sector reforms, and open parliament, among other issues.
On Constituency Focus this week, we had a chat with Honorable Sesi Wingen, representing Badagry Federal Constituency of Lagos State. He spoke to us about his plans for his constituents. Let's check it out.
In 2015, I came back to my constituency to see how I can contribute my own quota to the growth and development of my constituency. I started by opening up a center where we run our foundation. We started with few projects. In 2016, we renovated a whole health center. It's called Pota Health Center, for the people of the community. And also after that, we looked into some few issues that we have in the constituency. So I decided to come in by fixing some few roads. There are so many communities that were cut off that people couldn't even reach. You see students working in water to access the basic education that they are entitled to. So we decided to build some few bridges just to connect communities. After that as well, we opened a center when they were struggling in the entire constituency to register for their NIN. They couldn't have access to their bank applications. They couldn't have access to whatever they have in their. We opened up a center where we were doing free NIN. And so far, between 2018 till date that we opened the center, I can tell you that we registered more than 60,000 people. And at the same time, out of those people, we had buses that were moving them from communities to the center and moving them back to their communities. My plan is to see how We can facilitate some few projects like hospitals to some few communities who don't have access to basic health. I also intend to see how we can facilitate schools to few communities that do not have. We see some kids traveling kilometers just to access basic education. I feel that is unnecessary, and that is something that I can address. So I intend to see how we can facilitate schools to these communities just to make education closer, bring education closer to our people. Aside from that, we want to empower our youth. We want to empower our women. We want to empower our old ones. The kind of empowerment that I propose is not the empowerment that we do just for political sake. We want to genuinely empower them, see how we can bring in projects that will build their capacity, how we can bring in projects that will enhance them, and see how they can enhance them and contribute back to the community, and also contribute to their own daily livelihood. Like I say to the few ones that cares to listen in my constituency, the federal government is not going to employ everyone. We cannot wait for the federal government to generate employment for all. So we decided to come together and see how we can build our own capacity, how we can get our youths the skill, get them skill that that can fetch them their own source of livelihood.
And that's the program for you this week. Thanks for watching. We'd love to hear from you. Please send an email to thegavel@channelstv.com. Until next week, when the gavel comes your way again, I am Benny Ock. Be well.